Welcome back to the Information Center. It's been a while since you've taken one of our surveys, so we're going to have to get you all caught up. But before that, we have a word from our sponsor. Bedtime is an intimidating time for me. I'm a night owl and I love to send emails and make plans until the sun has risen, unfortunately, which causes me to have an extremely unproductive and slow day the next day. Which is why I've started using today's sponsor, BetterSleep. BetterSleep is one of the world's top-rated sleep apps that asks you your personal sleep habits to pair you with the perfect sleep and make sure you get the rest you deserve. My favorite feature is this awesome ASMR sound mixer with over 300 sounds that you can layer and music to choose from, including very specific fan sounds, white noise, brainwaves, nature sounds, and so much more. My personal favorite soundscape is city rain. I'm always looking for rain sounds where you can hear each individual drop, and I feel like all of them kind of just sound like white noise, but specifically this city rain sound is one I've been looking for ever for. My favorite way to use BetterSleep is to add rain, add a little bit of ambiance, and just mix and match. And the best part about BetterSleep is you can hit that power button or you can multitask in other apps and it'll keep playing, which is something I really like. There are also hundreds of bedtime stories, and the stories are accompanied by a custom soundscape to immerse you and relax your mind. BetterSleep also offers guided sleep hypnosis and meditations that can help you experience a deeper sleep. If you're like me and you want to conquer your bedtime dread, you can use my link in my description or visit trybettersleep.co/edensgarden to try BetterSleep for 7 days free. Thanks again to BetterSleep for sponsoring today's video. Let's get started on that information collection. Now, just to verify that I have the right person, what is your first and last name? Perfect, I did grab the right file today. And what is your age as of today? Okay, and your date of birth hasn't changed, I presume? No. Okay, perfect. I'm actually going to switch to a pen. I like the way pens feel rather than pencils. Now, what is your current occupation, whether or not it has changed since the last time you've seen each other? Okay, perfect. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's get into the real questions. Do you have an internal monologue? Do you hear yourself talking in your brain, in your mind's ear, of course, not out loud? Unless you do hear it out loud. That is also an option. Okay, interesting. Okay, good to know. Okay, do you sleep on your back, side, or stomach? If some of these questions are repeating, we are asking to make sure nothing has changed. Okay. And do you sleep with your windows and doors unlocked? Just a question. Perfect. Which side? If you sleep on your side, forgot to mention that one. Got it. Perfect. Who is your best friend or favorite person in this world? Okay. Alright. And you don't feel bad betraying the other person you had in mind? No. Okay. What is your last Google search? I'm not judging. Okay. What is your favorite animal? The entire animal kingdom, whether or not you could keep it as a pet, ethically or not. Okay. Interesting. And how many hours of sleep do you get on average these days? Okay. How many people do you think you've met in your lifetime? I know it's a big question. It's hard to answer, but if you had to guess how many people you've met in your lifetime, what would be your best guess? I'll give you time. Keeping a bit conservative with that one. Do you not go outside often? Interesting. I mean, I guess we did ask you the last time you touched grass, and that was a bit surprising. Alright. Would you rather never feel embarrassed again, or never feel cold again? And really give this one some thought. Don't rush into this one and be hasty. You have to really think about your priorities here. Never be cold or never be embarrassed. Which one? I think they both have pros and cons to them. Okay. Now, do you sleep with socks on at this moment? touching my nose. It's really bothering me. Does it bother you when your hair touches your nose? I think that's a pretty human thing to happen. Okay. Does your nose run when you are tired? What is your favorite brand of water? Interesting. And you can taste the difference between water, right? You're not one of those crazy people who thinks it all tastes the same, because it doesn't. It tastes very different. Okay, now, what is the riskiest thing you've ever put in the microwave? That is a question we asked you before. I'm just wondering if it's been riskier recently. Has your impulsivity gone up and made you want to put even riskier things in the microwave? Okay. Okay. Do you fight, flight, or freeze? I think that's something that can change throughout a person's lifetime, right? You're not just stuck on one. You can kind of branch out. Kind of a fighter myself, but I'm also not afraid to run. I'm a pretty fast runner, so I think that's usually my best bet. What is your ideal sleeping temperature as of late? Very specific. I like to be cold. I like to be cold and wrap myself up in a nice little burrito of my own making. It makes me feel more comfortable. I don't like when the room is hot. It makes me very upset. Okay. What was your last trip to the hospital for? I don't judge. My last trip to the hospital was for something crazy. Okay. Okay. What time were you born? And if you don't know, go ahead and call up your mom, dad, parental guardian, anybody who might know that information about you. If there's no one who knows that information about you, I don't know much about your birth really mattered to them. I'm just jesting. I'm sure it's hard to remember that sort of thing. Genuinely, if you have siblings, I am curious if your guardians remember what time any of you were born, if they can get it off the top of their heads, or if they have to take a look at the good old birth certificate. Very curious. Only child, so my mother knows when I was born. What time. Alright. Do you bite your nails? Is that a habit that you have? Are there any other habits that you have that you would like to talk about? What is your favorite dairy product? Mine is cheese. Not that you're asking me. It just gets tiring all day asking these questions. Sometimes you just desperately want to scream, I love cheese. I love sharp cheddar. I love sharp white cheddar. I love cotija cheese. I just want to shout it from the rooftops. Get a little stir crazy taking in information all day. Have you ever broken a promise? A meaningful one, of course. I'm not talking about your mom asking you to promise you won't take off your church clothes early and she comes home and you're running around butt naked and you're, that's an original experience. What color is your least favorite? What is your least favorite color out of all of them? If you say brown, we might need to have some words. Okay. What is your biggest insecurity? This one changes, right? Gotta ask it frequently. Curious about the ups and downs of your life. If you could eradicate any animal or bug, what animal or bug would you choose? I personally would go with wasps. Wasps make everyone's life a living hell. I would love to say bees, but bees are very necessary. I've just been stung by enough of them. I have a little bit of a bias. Remind me what your animal or insect was? Or bug of any kind? Have you ever swallowed gum? And have you done it within the last 7 years? I hear it stays stuck in there. I think that's an urban legend, though. How many letters are in your middle name? You're welcome to think about this one for a minute if this is going to be hard for you. Go ahead and count for me. Oh wait, impatient. Okay. Perfect. What is your biggest regret in your life thus far? That's a big one. Yeah, I could understand why you're regretting that one. I'm surprised you came outside today. If you think about that often, maybe you don't think about it often. Maybe that's how you sleep at night. Where do you think you'll go when you die? Regardless of religion or whatever, at this point in your life, where do you think you're gonna end up? My secret hope is that there's nothing, or we have reincarnation without remembering, but everyone's telling me that's not the case. Okay, do you try new things? Generally, are you someone who likes to try new things, new foods, new experiences, new, life choices? Okay, how is your eyesight? My eyesight is 20/20. I like to brag about it, but how is your eyesight? And if you do wear glasses, contacts, any sort of vision aid, what is your prescription? And if you're blind, how's your hearing? And if you're deaf, you probably can't hear me right now, but you can have partial deafness or be hard of hearing, of course. What do you think people take too seriously? Something that people take really seriously that you don't take seriously. Whether it's offensive or not. Just something you don't take seriously that people do. What's something strange that you do in public? I'm writing that one down, but just loading the answer up. What's something strange you do in public that isn't actually illegal? Or that you have done in public that isn't illegal? I'll write down this next one. I think that's illegal, but I'm the cop, so I don't really care. Nor could I arrest you for that. I don't think, now that it is way past it happening, I think we've all probably all done that one. Let me just write a note really quick for no one in particular. This person needs jail time. Okay, I'm just gonna put this with your file for no one special. Okay. How often do you wash your sheets? Oh. Maybe you do need jail time. How often do you clean your toilet? Throw the spray in there, the toilet bowl, substance. Look, man, I used to not really clean my toilet that much, but I was also a kid, so, I clean it a fair amount now. What's the worst grade that you got in school? I realized I wrote this down as Rost. Surprisingly, English was my strongest subject. Damn, surprised you told me that one. I got a C in math. That was my worst grade. But I honestly should have failed every math class I ever took. The teachers kind of felt bad for me, so that's why I passed. But I did really well in school, save the math. What is the worst physical pain you ever felt in your life? I personally have never broken a bone, so I don't know what that's like, but I've gone through some pretty crazy pain. Wow. Traumatizing. I hope you're okay. How many lies do you think you've told? If you look over your entire life and you think, I have to count the amount of lies I've told in my whole life. How many lies would that be? You don't think you're underdoing it? Alright. Gotcha. What would be your go-to way to hide or dispose of a body? would be your go-to way, in a way that you wouldn't be caught, or attempt to not be caught? Usually people get caught, you know. Who knows? Maybe get away with it. Okay. That's a good one. Let's save that for later. What is a fact about yourself that more people should know? That's a good one. If your skin could be any non-human color, what would it be? I would be blue, like a little green, a little blue green, a little blue green, like Toraya from the Alien series that one really cool ASMR artist, Eden's Garden ASMR, has going. I recommend it. Very talented person they are. Okay. Were your guardians strict? Or were your parents or guardians strict? I had a pretty strict mom, but it could have been worse. If you're honest with yourself, are you a nice person? I know nice is very subjective, but if it's just you in a room, and I guess me too, are you nice? There's no shame in not being nice. If you can admit it to yourself, you're a little bit less evil than the people who call themselves nice and aren't. I wouldn't even call myself a nice person. I'm polite, but I'm very brutal, very straight to the point. Most people wouldn't consider that nice. What is the weirdest topping you would like on a pizza? Weirdest topping. I'm not talking pineapple, I'm talking something kind of wacky, like corn and cilantro. I like corn and cilantro, personally. If you say ranch, go away. If you made a religion from scratch of your own, who or what would your congregation worship? Easy answer. Me. They'd worship me. Like, who do you think I am? Of course they'd worship me. But who would your congregation worship? Okay. Are you more of an early bird, or a night owl? Early bird or night owl? Okay. Do you pretend to be agreeable often? Do you pretend to be agreeable often? So, if you disagree or you're not a fan or you want to do something else, do you just pretend for the sake of going with the crowd and being, easy to get along with, or do you speak your mind? Okay. Have you ever cheated on someone? If you've been in a relationship, have you ever cheated on someone? You can be honest. It's just me and you. Okay. Do you feel like in your current place in your life, you are being yourself, your true, authentic self? Do you feel like you're being you? Do you feel like the people around you accept you for you? Or do you feel like you're hiding and you're masking and you're pretending to be someone that you're not? What's an unusual trait that you like in someone? Like, unusual doesn't have to be bad. Unusual could be good. Like, you like someone who doesn't like ice cream. Or you like someone who has a large and different shaped nose. I know that's a big one. People like unconventional noses. Or, maybe they really like to drink milk. Something unusual. What's an unusual trait you dislike in someone? I, for instance, don't really like people who play a lot of video games in relationships because that takes away time from me and I'm selfish. And I also don't really play very many video games unless I'm streaming. Oops. Because I'm a workaholic. So, what's an unusual trait that you dislike in someone that people might not agree with? Okay. Are you an organ donor? Okay. What would you sell on the black market if you had your own black market shop? I personally would sell people's excrement that they left behind. I think I could sell it for a good amount, and I think it's technically not even that illegal. It's like one of the most tame illegal things I could do. I feel like don't even really think I'd serve much time for that, if I served any time at all. I might serve time for that, but I feel like it'd be a short amount. Anyways, what would you do? Okay. What band or singer is really overrated? Sorry if you're a Swiftie, but can't stand your girl. What are 3 hobbies that you have? Name them off just as you think of them. One more, let's go. Okay. If you could make any food giant, what would you pick? Giant slice of pizza, giant chicken leg. I'd do a giant chicken leg. That would be bomb. Okay. If you had to eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would you choose? What would you choose? What would you choose? You could be smart and clever and maybe choose something vague so it could be prepared in different ways, like chicken. Or if you're really a die-hard pizza fan, that does give you a lot of options, because the pizza doesn't have to be the same pizza every time. You can have different types of pizza. You can have dessert pizzas. You can have different, pizzas made of different things, different crusts. Anything is pizza. If you truly think about it, anything could be pizza. So, what would you choose? Good one. Alright, if you had to spend 7 days in a forest, what state/territory would you live in? If you live outside of places with states and territories, just think of the place and tell me where you would live. If you had to spend 7 days in a forest, where would the temperature be best to do that? Or maybe a lack of wildlife. Okay. What do you wear to sleep? Do you wear old clothes? Do you have specific pajama sets? Do you just wear your normal clothes? What do you wear to bed? Sometimes people wear nothing. It's also an option. How many people have seen you cry? Do you think in your lifetime? How many people have seen you cry? I don't know if I'm going to include when you're a baby, or I'm not really sure what they meant by that. When they just gave me the questions. They don't necessarily tell me what the questions mean, so take it as you will. If you could collect multiples of any animal, what would it be? For me, I'd collect Siamese cats of different colors. What kind of animals would you collect? I'm already collecting different colors of Siamese cat, actually. Soda or juice? If you had to choose right now, soda or juice? I don't have any for you, just choose. Rice or beans? If you had a whole bowl of them, what would you choose? Do you believe that things happen for a reason? That there is some sort of divine purpose or timing for things, or that they just happen? Okay. Interesting. What's something you've been really procrastinating on? Something that you could probably stand to do right now, but can't because you're here. You should probably get to that. You should really probably get to that. I know I'm not supposed to judge, but that seems kind of important. Okay. How many apples tall are you? I know we don't really measure in apples, but some people do. Do you talk to yourself out loud? Or do you keep it all in your head? Or do you think it all? Okay. What would make you feel seen in your life? if someone could do something, say something, act a certain way to make you feel seen? And who do you want to be seen by? Okay. How many days or times a week do you actually brush your teeth? I think people have this unrealistic propaganda standard that they've set. Okay, maybe I'm crazy. Just call me crazy then. How many times a day do you think you use the bathroom on average? Okay. Let's see. If you could only use toilet paper or paper towels for the rest of your life, which of those two paper goods would you choose to do everything with? Good choice. That's a good choice. It's a lot more pleasant. Probably less expensive too. Okay. If you had to delete one social media platform from the internet as a whole, which one would you choose? It's your answer and you're sticking to it. Okay. Are there more doors in the world or wheels? This is a recurring question. I really want you to consider your answer. Are there more doors in the world or are there more wheels? Really, anything could be considered a wheel, but I know some people decided that windows could also be considered doors. And the dresser drawers, you know, those are doors. Is anything that opens a door, and is anything that's circular or spherical or cylindrical or whatever that's considered a wheel? Or are we talking like wheels and doors? I don't know which one has more. I'm inclined to say wheels, but maybe I'm dumb and it's doors. There are wheels in a lot of machinery, like an elevator door has wheels in it. Anyways, I don't know. People will go crazy thinking about this. How many days would you go hungry before considering cannibalizing? That's surprisingly long. Don't go missing in the woods with me. You're not gonna be found. Okay. If you could, okay, we're looking. What's the next meal that you will eat? What time? What are you eating? Anything. Okay. Now, what movie or a TV show universe would you live in if you had to choose one? Just like any TV show or movie universe to live in. You could live in League of Legends, Star Wars. Our informational assistant has barged into the room very unexpectedly without even knocking. It's crazy. Goodbye, informational assistant. Get me my coffee.
You don't like coffee.
Promptly. Fast.
You don't like coffee.
With the quickness. Run, assistant, run. Sorry, my assistant can be very scattered. Okay, where were we? You could live in League of Legends, you could live in Star Wars, you could live anywhere. What movie or show universe would you live in? Okay, let's go on to the next one. Let's name three nice things, three things you like about yourself. Let's speed it up though, don't take too long. Don't have time to wait, there's hair right in my eye. Guess I do have time to wait. Okay. Goodness gracious. Ooh. Okay. Conceited much? Oh boy, these people. Okay. Which number between 1 and 10 do you think has the worst personality? I think number 1 and number 10 probably have the worst egos. Whatever, so cool. Apparently 7, 8, 9, so I think 7 is, 7's on the nose. Okay. What is your favorite breed of cat? Even if you're not a cat person, I don't care. Okay. If you could only talk to one person that's in your life again, who would it be? And is it the same as your best friend from earlier, or is it someone else? Okay. What is something that makes you feel alive? A particular experience or person, or just a feeling you chase? What is something that makes you feel alive? Okay. What part of a hamburger would you be? What part of a hamburger would you be? There's pickles, there's bun, hold it all together. There's the meat, you really think you're the one, right? There's the lettuce, you're healthy. There's the tomato. A lot of people don't really want you there, but you're for the ones that get it. Or the sauce, maybe. Bring it all together. Okay, interesting. Phone calls or FaceTime? And if you're avoidant, don't you dare answer text. You gotta choose one. At least on a phone call, you can't see your face. Okay. Do you consider yourself judgmental or opinionated at all? Or would you say you're pretty easy or pretty chill? I wouldn't consider myself judgmental at all. Okay. Do you think in pictures or words? Or you don't think, maybe? How do you think? Do you think in experiences or feelings? Some people don't have a mind's eye. If you're one of those people, that's pretty crazy. What is your favorite jacket that you own? How many email addresses do you have? That's surprisingly low. You're making me think I'm some sort of degenerate or something. Let's see, which eye is your favorite? If someone were to come up to you and say, you gotta give me one of your eyes, which one are you gonna part with and which one do you want to keep? Who would play an autobiography? Who would play you in an autobiography of your life? What celebrity looks enough like you to pass for you in an autobiographical film or show? Maybe your life is that interesting where it's gotta be a show. If you had to eat a bug, which one would you choose? Which one would be less painful for you, the least painful? I personally would choose ants, just because they're nice and small. I feel like I could, get by. But maybe that's not fair. If you had to eat this much bug, what bug would you choose? Whether it's one bug, like a beetle that's this big, or like a couple of crickets, or like a bunch of ants. I still would choose the ants. I feel like they're the easiest to swallow with some water. But that's just me. Okay. We're in the home stretch. How early do you get to the airport usually? Are you like a running late, last minute kind of person? Or are you a get there early, get some food, grab a good seat, charge your devices kind of person? For me, it depends on who I'm flying with. If I'm flying with someone who's late often, I'm late. If I'm flying with someone who's early, I'm early. I'm a chameleon. Do you know anyone over 80 years old? Okay, how many times a day do you eat on average? I'm lucky if I eat twice because I always forget. But are you a normal person that eats 3 times a day? Do you eat in small meals more times a day? Interesting. Okay. Do you think 100 men could beat a gorilla? If you're honest with yourself. 100 men isn't that much when it comes to such a large beast that can rip off all your limbs. I don't know. I think people who say that that's possible are really overestimating these guys. Are they on substances? I feel like that changes things a little bit. Okay. How about an elephant? How many men do you think need to be present to kill an elephant? I mean, or really powerful women, I guess. How many people is it going to take to take down an elephant? Mind you, an elephant crushing you with its feet. Instant death. You are like literally turned into Flat Stanley. Yeah. So just keep that in mind with your answer. I honestly think more would be needed, but you have confidence. Alright, what's the most hurtful thing that someone has ever said to you? Most hurtful thing anyone said to you? Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, do you feel sweaty right now? Are you feeling sleepy right now? Are you getting sleepy? Are you getting sleepy? Are you getting sleepy? And you've been very hesitant about these last answers, like you're drifting off. Are you even awake? Thank you for participating in this survey. Despite us having your name and all your other information, this will remain anonymous because we legally have to tell you that, even though we will be selling your information. I will send over the terms of service. It's about 100 pages, and I don't recommend you reading it. I look forward to seeing you in the future.